Is that delivered?
I think they might. I noticed that.
Is that you before?
Yeah. Rachel, you know the post.
Yes, that's 25.
Are we okay with mysteries? Is there any mysteries in these applications? No. Good. So sit down and relax.
Oh, no, candle lighting. Where are the candles? Oh, and an arc opener. So we do need one arc opener for tonight. Yeah. So actually, it just Brandon. We start on page 422, but we're not doing that yet, quite yet. No, there are candles in the kitchen.
Okay, they're coming.
It's out finding the cat. Oh, you found them. So you look at them.
Yeah. Well, they started hours ago, didn't they?
I am.
Okay.
Just
They've got to be waxed in.
Well, you need to be louder.
Alright. I mean, I think they numbers up to 6.
Okay. Yeah, that's quality. We've got whiskey. You have to be louder than next door. But we could make up.
Oh, you want those in there?
We can make up for it in Ruach. You sing your heart.
Too late.
Yeah. Shall I
You might regret saying that. When you... I'm not too hard for you both. You've got to pretend you're practice.
Okay. I'll get the channel from these.
You're right.
Candles?
They can't be up here.
Let's that because we don't. Oh no.
We do.
Just in case.
Sorry, I know what. We'll get that stool.
When we do the dancing, because I could see in that.
Look at that. Everyone's got their health and safety hat on.
Yeah, go do a risk assessment.
Did we organise anything? Do we have a candle lighter? Danielle? Yeah? Would you like to light the candles? No, you don't have to.
Don't worry.
No pressure. Let's try that again.
That's normally happens when our face.
Oh yeah. All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Hang on,
I was
let me just
actually.
make sure I've got all my stuff. Hang on. That's no good if I have not.
Oops, I'm jumping. That's the morning.
Yes. Service.
Ah, why do I have the morning twice? That's not helpful.
It's easy, don't worry. We can share it.
Thank you. We're doing great. Okie dokie. I'll let you.
Okay. Chag Sameach, everybody. Lovely to see you all. So very warm welcome to everyone who's here. Linda on Zoom, and if anyone's on live stream, you're very welcome too. We also welcome David. It's lovely to have you here in person, and Jada and Mark. Lovely to have you with us. It's a happy occasion. And James and Susanna are next door. They're doing a little bit of a shul crawl tonight. So they're going next door for Marion Bloom, who is 101, reading from the Torah.
Wow. Please cook by you, Rose.
And they're going to be coming into us a little bit later because Reform started at 6. So they shouldn't still be going on when we finish. But who knows? We're very aware of what day this is today. Simchat Torah. It's also exactly a year in the Hebrew calendar that the Hamas attack took place on Simchat Torah morning. I'm sure many of us have been in touch with our Israeli families, and there are all sorts of different commemorations going on today, and everyone has been saying, how are we going to do this? How do we dance when we are still in mourning? But as I wrote in the newsletter, Ecclesiastes wrote, there's a time for mourning, there's a time for dancing, there's a time for wailing, there's a time for laughing. So somehow we have to do both at the same time or on the same day. So we're both whole and we're fractured. So somehow we have to hold those two together. And there are going to be one or two things that will indicate that that's what's happening. We'll explain maybe a little bit later on. And tomorrow morning, because it's traditional to have a Yizkor service on Shmini Atzeret, the 8th day or the day after Sukkot. So we're going to do a little memorial at the very beginning of the service in the morning, and then we're going to try and find a way of somehow moving from sorrow to as much joy as we can make together. So, we're going to begin our service on page 422, and I think, Pat, you're going to light the candles for us over here. Would you please rise?
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel yom tov.
Amen. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you. And let's say Shechianu together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechayanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Please be seated, everybody. So we're on page 423. As we come to the end of the Sukkot season, We recall yet again how fleeting is our life. But we remember too that we are not made only of matter. We live in dimensions of spirit in a world of sacred time. And now we look back upon the great creation of our people, a literature inspired by God we call Torah. For on this day we complete and begin again our cycle of reading from it and our exploration of its many meanings. Today we discover anew that its ways are ways of pleasantness and all its paths are peace. Today we rejoice in our religious heritage and pray that we may always be loyal to its teachings. This book of the law shall not cease to be on your lips, but you shall ponder it day and night, so that you may carry out all that is written in it. Then you will prosper and succeed. God's teaching is perfect. God's word is unfailing. God's precepts are right. God's commandments are clear. God's doctrine is pure. God's guidance is true. And a rabbi with the wonderful name of Ben Bagbag says, "Turn it and turn it, for all is in it. Look into it, grow grey and old over it, and never turn away from it, for you cannot find a better way of life than this." Proclaim the divinely ordained festivals to the people of Israel. And we turn to page 427. Would you please rise? Let's read together. We praise you, eternal one, our God, sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness, and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven. We praise you, O God. Your word makes evening fall. Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha, v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'derech, uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha, v'shartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Please be seated. I'm at the foot of page 429. All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, Eternal One, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt, forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel.
Please stand. We're in the middle of page 431.
Adonai,
תפתח ופיה כי תהילתך. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופיה כי תהילתך.
This is the Pesach for Shmini Atzeret, which is very much like the Haggadah days. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu V'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rahel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor HaNorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei HaKol V'zocheh Hasdei Avot Umevi Goel Livnei B'neihem L'man Shamo Ve'ahava Melech Ozeh U'Mashiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי מתים, אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע. ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. קדוש אתה ונורא שמך, ואין לנו אלוה מבלעדיך. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. You have given us a special task among the peoples. In your love and favor you have sanctified us by your commandments, drawn us near to your service, and charged us to make known your great and holy name. In your love, eternal one our God, you have given us feasts of joy and seasons of gladness, among them this festival of Simchat Torah, season of our gladness, to unite us in worship and in remembrance of the exodus from Egypt. Our God and God of our ancestors, be mindful of us and all your people of the house of Israel. Grant us well-being and blessing, life and peace on this festival of Simchat Torah. I've obviously put my post-it note over it. Zochreinu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova. Ufochtenu vo livracha. V'hoshienu vo l'chaim. We'll continue together. Grant, eternal God, that our observance of the festivals may bring us blessing, happiness, and joy. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. And grant, eternal God, that the happiness of the festivals may be with us always. We praise you, O God. You hallow Israel and the festivals. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Yisrael v'hazmanim. Ratzei Adonai Eloheinu bi'amcha Yisrael, v'tfilatam b'yahava tekabel utehi l'ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha b'yira na'avod. Modim anachnu lach she'atahu Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu le'olam va'ed. So hayenu magen yishenu atahu לדור ודור. נודה לך ונספר תהילתך על חיינו המסורים בידיך. ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך, ועל ניסיך שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלותיך וטובותיך שבכל עת ערב ובוקר וצהריים. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך ולך נאה להודות.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. L'tov beinecha levarech et kol ha'amim b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Shalom Ibrahima
ויעשה שלום עלינו
ועל ישראל ועל כל בני אדם.
The kids, when I used to be a movement worker, would keep on repeating Tasim Leolam until they got bored of it, which was a really long time later. And I thought for a second that might be what Joseph was about to do, but it wasn't. We're going to turn over to page 468 to sing Hallel together. So we'll say the blessing at the top of the page. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et ha'halel.
Hallelujah.
Hallelu avdei Adonai.
Hallelujah. Shem Adonai, Shem Adonai Gabora, Me'ata ve'Adonai. Mimizrach shemesh ad mavo, Ma'olah Shem Adonai Rama kol. Im Adonai al hashamayim kavodo. Adonai Eloheinu Avila Shaveh Hashvili Lirot
בשמיים ובארץ,
Mekimi Me'avata
מרשפות ימים,
Me'vyon
לראשי.
Im Nedivei Amor. Hallelujah.
And we jump to page 474. Yes.
Hallelujah.
Adonai kol goyim, shavuchu kol ha'umim, ki yavor aleinu hasko, be'emet Adonai not afraid. With God as my helper, it is better to take refuge in God than to rely on human beings. Hear glad songs of triumph in the tents of the righteous. God's power is supreme. I shall not die but live. Blessed are you who come in God's name. You are my God, and I thank you. You are my God, I exalt you.
So we're going to turn over now to our Torah service on page 504. 504.
Say anything before? Well, I think it'd be lovely to welcome Josh, who's come in perfect timing to add some oomph to our hakafot with the accordion, which should be wonderful. Thank you for coming. Very good. So do we talk about the Hakathot now? Yeah. So just as we're going to enter into the Hakathot shortly, and as Rachel mentioned, there are going to be some moments where this is the moment tonight where we kind of remember what happened on the 7th of October, but not just what happened last Simchat Torah, because of course that was the start of a year of bloodshed, and we think of all of those whose lives were lost on the 7th of October, but also the tens of thousands of lives that have been lost in Palestine, in Lebanon, and of course the hostages that have been killed since the 7th of October, and we think of all those people who have been displaced. So we are going to have some joyful hakathot, but in memory of all of those people and in a real prayer for peace, we're going to do the first hakathah silently. We'll just walk around with the scrolls, and then after that we'll build into dancing.
So page 504. And so I think we Ark Opener and Hagbar and Galila. We need them to come on up. Actually, no, we don't need Hagbar and Galila at the moment. So no worries.
Hold your horses.
Yes, hold your horses. Happy are those whose way is sure, who walk in the light of Torah. Happy those who follow your teachings, O God, who seek you with a whole heart. Your word is a lamp for our feet, a light for our path. Your Torah is our joy. Happy the people on whom such blessing falls. Happy the people whose God is the eternal one. Would you please rise? This way. And you do need Roz and Jenny. Come on up, come on up. So you're giving Roz one. There you go. Heavy this one. And on page 505, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai
Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai.
Ashreichem Yisrael, Ashreichem Yisrael, Ashreichem Yisrael, Asher Bachar Bachem El, V'hinchilchem HaTorah. How happy, how fortunate, how privileged you are, O Israel, commissioned to serve God, inheritors of the Torah. Should I take the other scroll out for the procession? Yeah. Absolutely. So we're going, as Anna has said, we're going to start the procession now. Is there room there in front of this table? Not a lot, is there? So let me just move it back a bit. We'll move them in a minute. So let's do, as we say, one hakafa. If you take that way, you take them, and then maybe you can take them for the last one with the dancing as well. And people also, when they've done one hakafa, then you take anyone who would like to take a Torah scroll and carry it around.
Shalom,
Ah, may we always have the problem that we can't stop you dancing.
Please be seated, everybody.
And help
do.
yourselves to drinks at the back.
Yes.
I could serve at the young. Don't put anything on TripAdvisor.
Lovely. So shall I? Okie dokie. Here we go. Well, I was about to say the time has come. Home, Nottingham. Yeah. It is my absolute honour to welcome and introduce, although she needs no introduction, Ros this evening. So I've actually known Ros longer than I've known anyone else here at Mosaic Liberal, as our connection goes back to Nottingham Liberal Synagogue, where we met when I was just 11 years old, and I went to school with Ros's sons, particularly Ollie, who I think was even in my form. Yeah. But Ros, I'm grateful to you for keeping any embarrassing stories you might have to yourself. It's hard to believe that Ros only joined us here at MLS 2 years ago. I know. Ros splits her time between Nottingham and London, as she regularly visits her granddaughter, Jada, and it's lovely to have you here, Jada, and has spent many years looking after her mother, who sadly died earlier this year. I'm out of breath from the dancing. Here we go. As she spends much of her time in London, Ros wanted to have a synagogue community here, and having found herself shulless, she looked for the nearest liberal shul to where she was based in Bushey, and was delighted to see that Rabbi Rachel was here at MLS, who she'd recognised from various liberal Judaism events, and so, thank goodness, saw us as the obvious choice. Ros remembers the warm welcome that she was given from the moment she came along, and Ros threw herself into the community, and you've been such an asset over these past 2 years. Ros is a member of the Rights and Practices Committee, helping make sure services run smoothly, everything is arranged how it should, and of course, keeping Kevin in check as part of her duties.
Good luck.
For all of that, we are incredibly grateful.
Not going to get any easier tonight, I can assure you that.
Well, after the whiskey as well. As well as her official role on Rights and Practices, Ros is always at hand to help with whatever crops up. And she also extends the welcome that she received to any new visitors who come to Mosaic Liberal. And the Jewish world is small, and I found out through the grapevine that a recent visitor to Mosaic Liberal Synagogue had been raving to others about the incredible welcome and support that she received that day. And I know that that person sat with Ros, and Ros's kindness meant a huge amount. Ros tells me that she got so involved so quickly because she likes helping others, and if everyone is pitching in, the community feels more equal. This she learned from her parents, who got involved in everything. And if you want things to happen, you need to be part of making it happen. Ros has taken that to heart, throwing herself into every community that she's been a member of, and even being an officer for ULPS a few years back. Ros, we are so lucky that you found us as your London home, and we appreciate you for everything that you bring to Mosaic Liberal. And I'm delighted to welcome you as Kalat Torah in just a moment.
Thank you. Jenny, it's your turn now. So it's my honour to welcome and introduce Jenny, who I've also known for a number of years, though not as many as you've known Ros. And if I were 11 years old, that would be an awful lot further back. Anyway, I knew Jenny from the Liberal Jewish Synagogue before Mosaic. And Jenny joined our community nearly 3 years ago. And that's also incredibly hard to believe because she is definitely, in the nicest possible way, part of the furniture.
Just the girl who can't say no.
No, hang on, I haven't got to that bit yet. She's involved in so many things. Where do we start? She's on the care group, on council, where she bravely took on the role of minute taker for a while, on the Kiddush Rota, on the Social Action Hub group. And of course, social action is something that is close to Jenny's heart, and she is a real macher in that regard. Outside the synagogue, she volunteers for Goods for Good and for cats protection. She loves all animals, especially cats, which is a love that we share. Her work with Goods for Good makes her a unique link with that organisation, and she regularly takes the items that we have collected in our basket to them. She also takes to the food bank the items we collect for them, as well as surplus cat food from Cats Protection. And as Harry commented, a catalogue of good deeds.
You've been with me too long.
I know that Jenny is interested in cross-communal activities, and she's involved with the walking group and Shabbat Beitenu, as well as the Kiddush Rota and the Social Action Hub. Jenny told me that she thought that this whole MJC project is such a great concept. She finds everybody welcoming and likes the idea of sharing resources while each community retains its identity at the same time. Jenny also was impressed at how friendly MLS members were, and she told us that early on, Hannah invited her to dinner to get to know her better. And from that developed a friendship that I know is important to both of you. And Jenny's made many other friends too in the community. One thing that Adrian has upstaged me, that I am not sure if Jenny knows the meaning of, and that is a small 2-letter word beginning with N and ending with O. But we're so grateful, Jenny, that you have joined our community, and you are such an active and loved member now. And I personally value and appreciate the support and the friendship and the feline advice that you give me. We're so grateful to you for all that you do, and we're delighted to honour you as our Kalat Bereshit this Simchat Torah. Okay, enough embarrassing you for just a moment. So Anna and I are just going to say a few words about the Torah portions, and then we'll get reading.
So Roz will be reading the last verses of Torah. And we finish the Torah, as you all know, with Moses' last breath. We read that Moses ascends to the top of Mount Nebo to view the land of Israel from afar. Moses is not allowed to enter the land since he hit the rock back in the book of Numbers rather than speaking to it as God had commanded. At the point we read today, Moses has done all that he can for the Israelites. He's equipped them with all they need to know by writing down a song on God's command and teaching it to the Israelites. He's blessed each of the tribes of Israel, and he has appointed Joshua as their new leader. Moses has begged God to reconsider and allow him to enter the land, but God reaffirms that this is where Moses' journey is going to end. So, having viewed Israel from the top of Mount Nebo, Moses dies at aged 120. The Israelites mourn for him for 30 days, and then Joshua takes up the mantle of leadership. We learn that Moses is the last prophet to know God face to face. If we look at the moment that Moses dies, we see an incredibly personal interaction between God and Moses. We read that Moses dies al pi Adonai. Our translation reads that means at the command of God, but literally it means by the mouth of God. Rashi notes that this means Moses died with a kiss from God. It's a very anthropomorphic image, which might not be the God that we connect to. And this follows another anthropomorphic moment where we read, it is God who buries Moses in the land of Moab, and no human knows where he is buried. As we close the Torah with this deeply intimate moment between Moses and God and move our way back to the beginning from death to creation, I'm struck that our Torah begins and ends with God's mouth. Al pi Adonai, Moses dies, and with God's words, there is creation. With this, we see a movement from the universal and broad act of creation, words that spread everywhere, to the personal interaction between God and Moses. And this contrast reflects the journey of Torah, from the universal message of the creation story at the beginning to the building and deepening of more personal covenantal relationship between God and God's people that we follow as we read through the Torah each year. So that's
Deuteronomy. Well, Genesis doesn't really need any introduction, does it? Let's face it. It's the creation of the world. So I'm actually not going to say very much, except, so day one, day and night are created. You need to listen to this because you're going to be tested on it in a minute. So day 1, day and night are created. Day 2, sky, earth and seas. Day 3, plants, trees and vegetation. Day 4, sun, moon and stars. Day 5, fish, water creatures and birds. Day 6, mammals, land creatures and human beings. And day 7, of course, God rests. That's Shabbat. What is wrong with that sequence of events? Told you to listen. So day 1, God creates day and night. Day 4, God creates the sun, the moon, and the stars.
Yeah.
So, how can you have day and night without the sun, moon, and the stars? Because they haven't been created.
Under the food will take you more of a day to do that. It's a lot of work for one day.
Well, I don't know the answer to that. Any thoughts?
I think it's not actually a day as in 24 hours. I think it's just a division of time. That's my theory.
Thank you, Kevin. Rabbi Kevin.
Rabbi Kevin, we don't.
Well, Rashi says the same thing.
I googled it.
I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with
Where did the light come from? Not from the sun.
yeah,
Oh.
from God.
Oh,
Maybe that's the light of
But in the Arctic Circle,
Yes.
there's a very strange light. It's not light, it's not dark.
it's the northern
Amazing
lights.
light.
Ah,
in the
there
sun.
you go.
Wow.
So,
There you go.
well, who knows? But anyway, that is definitely something to think about. And then in the second account of creation, the Adam is created from the dust of the earth and placed by God in the Garden of Eden. God creates the animals and the Adam names them. And God commands the Adam not to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So in the first creation on day 6, human beings are created, and what's the word for human being? I've just said it a few times.
Yeah.
Yes, Adam is human being. And so on day 6, male and female were created at the same time. In the second account, we hear that God causes the Adam to fall into a deep sleep, and then one side of the Adam, it's usually translated as a rib, but I prefer to take it as a side, is taken, and then even Adam becomes separate beings, female and male. So, who's created first?
A genderless being.
Adam, and then God realised how he could improve on that.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it was a prototype.
It was a prototype. Yeah. So it's interesting. Some say that one of the creations is a more general one, and the other one goes into specifics. But it seems that they were created at the same time, male and female, and not man first and then woman, I think. And one of the great philosophers, Levinas, also picked up on a midrash that says literally they were an androgynous being that were attached
Double
by
face.
their backs. So each facing outward, and God split them literally down the middle so that they were able to turn and face each other.
Would you Adam and Eve?
First Siamese twins. And also, of course, the Genesis is the creation story is the source for the Jewish day starting in the evening, because at the end of each day we read Vayhi Erev, Vayhi Voker. There was evening and there was morning, and so from that the rabbis took that the Jewish day starts in the evening. So I wasn't going to say much, was I?
It was perfect. It was great.
So, typical rabbi.
Well, we just hopefully didn't leave you sweating for too long. Without further ado,
I'm sure Jenny will be happy for that.
I will call Roz up to Torah. Ta'amod, Riva Chana Zahava Bat Shimon Zelig Veyeta Kalat Torah.
I think you need the Torah, don't you?
Yeah, we're quite important, that bit. Oh, sorry, that's your interfering.
blessing for us?
It's just on, it's behind the book on there. Oh, you've got it.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher b'chabanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Anna, do you want to grab that one? I'll grab this one.
Is that it?
Yep. No, it's
No,
not.
it's
Like
not.
that.
No.
Oh, sorry, I'm not at the very end. Sorry, let's just wind it up a little bit more over here.
Rabbi Ben back.
Can't get the staff.
Oh,
There we go.
yeah.
No, it must be here somewhere.
It's there.
There you
So,
are.
yeah.
Have you got the text?
Yes, I see her as well.
Vaya'al Moshe me'avot Moav al-ha Navi Rosh HaPiskah Asher al Pnei Yerecho V'Yerehu Adonai et Kol Haaretz et Hagilad ad Dan Ve'et Kol Naphtali Ve'et Eretz Ephraim u'Manasseh Ve'et Kol Eretz Yehuda ad Hayam ha'acharon Ve'et Hanegev Ve'et Hakika Bikot Yerehu Ir ha-Temarim ad Zoar V'yomer Adonai elav Zot haaretz asher nishbati le'Avraham le'Yitzchak u'le'Yaakov le'emor le'zeracha et nena harayticha be'einecha v'shema lo ta'avor v'yamat sham Moshe Eved Adonai be'eretz Moav al pi Adonai v'yikbo oto bagai be'eretz Moav mul beit peor v'lo yada ish et kavurato ad hayom hazeh u'Moshe ben Ma the Ezraim Shena the Moto lo Chakato eno le velo nas lecha V'yivku v'nei Yisrael et Moshe be Arvot Moav shloshim yom v'yitmu yamei v'kai elav Moshe Yehoshua ben Nun Malah Ruach HaKochma Ki Samach Moshe et Yadav elav V'yismechu elav b'nei Yisrael uve Ya'asor ka'asher siva Adonai et Moshe Ve'alkam Velokam Navi od b'Yisrael k'Moshe Asher Ya'ado Adonai Panim al Panim L'chol ha'atot v'hamuftiim Asher shalacho Adonai le'sot be'eretz Mitzrayim le'Pharaoh u'l'chol avodav u'l'chol avotso ulchol hayad hazaka ulchol hamora hagadol asher asa Moshe leanu kol Yisrael. Sorry for murdering the Hebrew.
This is the whole thing.
Moses went up from the steppes of Moab to Mount Nebo, to the summit of Pisgah opposite Jericho, and the Eternal One showed him the whole land, Gilead as far as Dan, all Naphtali, the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, the whole land of Judah as far as the western sea, the Negev and the plain, the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees, as far as Zoar. And the Eternal One said to him, "This is the land of which I swore to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob. I will assign it to your offspring. I have let you see it with your own eyes, but you shall not cross there." So Moses, the servant of the Eternal One, died there in the land of Moab at the command of the Eternal One. God buried him in the valley in the land of Moab, near Beth Peor, and no one knows his burial place to this day. Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eyes were undimmed and his vigour unabated, and the Israelites bewailed Moses in the steppes of Moab for 30 days. The period of wailing and mourning for Moses came to an end. Now Joshua, son of Nun, was filled with the spirit of wisdom, because Moses had laid his hands upon him, and the Israelites heeded him, doing as the Eternal One had commanded Moses. Never again did there arise in Israel a prophet like Moses, whom the Eternal One singled out face to face, for the various signs and portents that the Eternal One sent him to display in the land of Egypt, against Pharaoh and all his courtiers and his whole country, and for all the great might and awesome power that Moses displayed before all Israel.
Blessing?
Oh, yeah.
Do the blessing and then let's do Hazak.
Can I take that bit because I'll need it for tomorrow, won't I? That's mine.
Sure. Do the blessing?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher natan lanu Torah temet, v'chayei olam notar b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai notein ha'torah.
As we finish the book of Deuteronomy and finish the Torah, we say Hazak, or we sing
We just
Hazak,
did.
Hazak. The nip Hazak. No, I know. I was explaining
Oh,
it.
sorry.
Oh, you two are great double act.
We are. We're. It's like
Sorry.
the two Ronnies, the two rabbis.
The two rabbis,
May we be have strength, and may we be strengthened.
Absolutely.
Well done.
No.
You can go.
and
Be
sit
toasty.
down.
Go.
Take a
I've been
breath.
dismissed now.
Still got tomorrow.
And so
don't
I get to call up Jenny now, but let's...
do Hagba.
Yes.
Well, actually, no, we're not going to do Hagba. Get that straight. We're not going to do Hagba. We're going to get straight down the story. We'll do Hagba with the other one.
Okay, double Hagba.
So, Ta'amod, Yochana Batsu George Kalat Bereshit. And I'm really going to need you on that side. It's very tight. Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Okay. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachabanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notein ha'torah.
Amen.
Bareshit barach Elohim et haaretz
Hashamayim.
et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'haaretz hayita tahum v'hum v'haaretz v'chosher al, I'm going to have to move, al panei tahom v'ruach Elohim marafet al peri al panei hamayim v'yomer Elohim yahi or v'yahi or v'yer Elohim et ha'or kitov v'yavdel Elohim ben haaretz ha'or uven ha'hosher v'yikra Elohim la'or yom hala v'la'hosher karach laila v'yihi erev v'yihi boker yom echad.
Well done. Great. We said another Shechianu, shouldn't we? It's the first time you're reading the Torah.
We'll do it after.
Yeah.
V'yema Elohim yehi rakiach
That's how we remember it. Yeah, you did as well.
v'tov hamayim v'yehi mavdil ben mayim l'mayim v'yas Elohim et harakia v'yavdel ben hamayim asher mitachot v'rakia uvein hamayim asher ma'al l'rakia v'yeh chen v'yiker Elohim l'rakia shamayim v'yehi erev v'yehi boker yom sheni. See, you guys know it better than me. Okay, right. Yes. V'yomer Elohim yakanu hamayim hamataat hashamayim el hamakom 8 mahakom echad v'taruach hayibasha v'yihi chen v'yakra Elohim l'yibashach 8 Eretz umikvei hamayim karach yamim vayichra Elohim kitov vayomer Elohim tadshe haaretz desher Esav Mizraah Zaro 8 Pori Osei Puri, Laminehu, Asher Zerei U vo. Al haaretz v'hiye v'yahi chen. V'totze haaretz t'sher eshav. Esav. She's got it right. Mizreach, Zara, Laminichu, the Eitz, Esev Peri, Asher Zara'u Vo, Le Minnechu, Vaya Elohim Kitov. Vayhi Erev, Vayhi Boker, Yom Shlishi.
Wow. Wow. That is amazing. Right. Translation. Yeah.
When God was about to create heaven and earth, the earth was a chaos, unformed, and on the chaotic waters' face there was darkness. Then God's Spirit glided over the face of the waters, and God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And when God saw how good the light was, God divided the light from the darkness. God then called the light day, and called the darkness night. And there was evening and there was morning, the first day. God then said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it divide water from water." So God made the expanse, separating the waters beneath the expanse from the waters above the expanse, and so it was. And God called the expanse sky, and there was evening and there was morning, a second day. God then said, "Let the waters beneath the sky be collected in one place, so that the dry ground may be seen." And so it was. God called the dry ground earth, and called the collected waters seas. And when God saw how good it was, God said, "Let the earth grow vegetation, seed-bearing plants, fruit trees on the earth that bear fruit, each true to his type, with its seed in it." And so it was. The earth brought forth vegetation, seed-bearing plants, each true to its type, and trees bearing fruit, each true to its type, with its seed in it. And God saw how good it was. There was evening and there was morning, a third day. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'hayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten ha-Torah.
Amen.
We should do Shehechianu.
Is that the first time you've read Torah as well?
No, I was actually Bereshit some years ago in Nottingham.
With my mum.
Okay.
It really meant a lot because when I was growing up, particularly in the Orthodox, we didn't have that mitzvah, so I don't think you can have
So that was your moment.
Yeah.
You've both done so well, you've got the job next year as well.
Jenny, don't run away. Hang on, I think we should say a big Shehechianu
Yeah.
for this. I think that was amazing as well. You did brilliantly.
Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'kiyamanu lazman hazeh.
Amen. And don't go away yet.
Yes.
Rose,
Rose,
come
come
on
on
up.
up.
Okay. So, shall I come over to your side? So, why don't we stand up while we ask God's blessing on our lovely kalot? מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל הוא יברך את ריבה חנה זהבה בת שמעון זליג הכהן ויתר. It's quite a mouthful, your name.
I meant to say cut some of it.
Sorry. שנבחרת להשלים התורה ויוחנה בת סובה ג'ורג' שנבחרת לקרוא מעשה בראשית. הקדוש ברוך הוא ישמור אותם ויציל אותם מכל צרה וצוקה, ויזכו לעשות בתורה ובמצוות ובעסוק בתורה ובמצוות ובצורכי ציבור באמונה. וישלח להן ברכה והצלחה בכל מעשה ידיהן, ונאמר
Amen.
May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebecca, Jacob, Leah and Rachel, bless Rosbot and Jenny Stephanie, whom we honour as our Kalat Torah and Kalat Bereshit. May the Holy One, praise be God, bless you and guard you from all trouble and distress. May you be privileged to continue to devote yourself to the study of Torah, the performance of good deeds, and to the service of the Jewish community. May all that you do in good faith prosper and give you satisfaction. May God bless you and your families with length of days, good health and strength of body and mind, happiness and peace. And let us all say,
Amen.
Now we're going to do Hagvaha with this scroll, and then down and get them all dressed up again. No, just do the one.
oh, sorry, thank you. Oh, I'm still looking at the morning. All right.
And so, we're just going to wait a moment while these scrolls are wrapped.
This is the problem with not having Haftarah when there's a Torah service, because we just twiddle our thumbs while the Torah is being redressed.
Want to sing a bit more? Yeah, go on. Whatever you like.
What's it?
Anything. Each while they're dressing the scroll. Anything you like.
Al Shlosha Devarim.
Okay, great. In one.
And we're in the middle of page 510. Yehalelu et Shem Adonai ki niskav shemo levado.
Oh
No, but you need to remain standing because we're going straight to the Aleinu.
No sermon.
Shush, naughty boy.
We're on page 520. Aleinu l'shabech l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו לאחד את שמו, וגור עלינו להמליך מלכותו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אדוננו אין עוד, עמק מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ bottom of page 521. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו It's hard to feel serene when our world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone. Yet, in the emptiness that their passing leaves behind, we are not alone. For we have the companionship of the living, and even our loved ones who have died live on in our hearts. For what they were is part of what we have become. We honour them best when we live as they would wish, responsibly and happily, even in the shadow of our loss, and so draw closer to the source of life, in whom every life finds meaning, purpose, and hope. I'll just take a moment to look around the room and then look to Linda as well on Zoom, and if anyone's remembering someone at this time, please do say their name. Linda. We say the words of Kaddish together with all those who mourn. Yit Gedal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, v'amad ivrach irutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'akala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach leolam ulalmei almaya, yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitnaman v'yitnaseh, V'yitahada v'yitalei v'yitalal shmei dusha b'richu le'ela minko b'chata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiram b'yama v'imru amen Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen Osei shalom b'mromav hu ya'asei shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol b'nei adam v'imru amen. Please be seated.
I will be as brief as possible because somebody's looking at me saying that she wants Kiddush. First, I'm going to say about the two halot. It's been kind of an annual thing, like who we choose, and we did have a situation where there was few that did a lot. And when we actually chose, I think it was just we had like kind of a rota, amongst the tried and tested. It's great, we've got new talent. So somebody who's actually, it's very rare that we get someone, for two people at the same time. Jenny, you're an absolute mensch in your many roles. I can't believe it's been 3 years, this amount that you've done. Ros, I have told Olivia that you're doing a good job of keeping me under control. She wants some lessons.
Sure, she could tell me if you...
Yeah, but thank you for all you've done to support me in a nice way. Thank you both.
Absolute pleasure.
Pressure was a pleasure.
Pleasure.
And especially Josh and Joseph, thank you for adding to the atmosphere, the ruach, the spirit of the occasion. Wonderful. I think our next R&P meeting, we can suggest maybe having an accordion for some of our regular services. Who knows? That won't be your problem. And thank you, Linda, for managing the Zoom for all those people watching. But it's you, but it's giving you an opportunity. And thank you. I don't know if it was Danielle or Adrian who set up. I think it was a collaborative effort. Made it out, but thank you. Without it,
With a little help from Rabbi Anna
as well. So it's teamwork. Okay, and tomorrow, 10:45, Friday, your final Friday night service starting at 6:30, then final Shabbat service, 10:45 on Saturday, litter pick.
No, not Elizabeth.
Oh,
Gardening.
gardening Sunday morning,
10 o'clock.
and a bit of a party Sunday afternoon. You've got Monday off. Unless you want to do another service.
I'll think about it.
So we're concluding with Yiddish tune, and I'll let Joseph introduce it.
Yeah, it's a really fun Simchat Torah song, mostly about being drunk on Simchat Torah. I can confess.
Grab some whiskey.
I'll just do the chorus quickly. The chorus goes on.
Oi, 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 freilich Kinder hat das Zeug, endlich fallen von die Sack, freilich oder nicht.
Try that.
Oi, 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 freilich Kinder hat das Zeug, endlich fallen von die Sack, freilich oder nicht.
So that comes a few times. Otherwise, there's a lot of words. So we'll do
Simchas Torah macht die ganze Welt. Torah ist die beste Torah, so hat der Rebbe mit uns geknallt. Oi, 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 freilich Kinder hat das Zeug, endlich fallen von die Säck, freilich oder nicht. Und ich bin an allem jedem und es dort mir gut der Mund. Simchas Torah singt
As an answer, me and Sean are auditioning for Strictly. Strictly Bad Dancing.
So I think we're going to finish there because that's a great note. A great note to stop on. So we are going to go out to do Kiddush just outside. I think Reform have well gone home and are having their dinner. So
Masorti didn't even make it.
Masorti didn't even make it. So Mazel Tov, Ros and Jenny. And that was just a dry run for tomorrow morning.
Forget everything you've heard, actually, because...
Good. Okay, let's go do Kiddush.
Every time I find one, I lose the other. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Every time I lose one, I find one, I lose the other. That's true. Yeah. Thank you very much. I was looking for that one.
Linda,
Yes?
thank you so much.
That's all right. Listen, I will come down tomorrow. I will come tomorrow.
You'll come tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good, excellent. We'll sort out the tech one way or another.
Yeah, okay.
Lovely. We'll see you in the morning.
Okay then.
Bye.